AirSage is an Atlanta, Georgia-based technology company. We obtain cellular data exclusively from 2 of the major 3 carriers. With this data, we are able to analyze population movement across the nation. We have access to 100 million devices, so roughly 1/3 of the US population, which we can then synthesize to the entire population. The types of technology that we're talking about, the issue of privacy is paramount in addressing and making sure that our clients feel extremely comfortable that we are ensuring the privacy of the users whose data we are obtaining from these carriers. AirSage owns several patents on the process that makes the raw signaling data anonymous and encrypted. So we are looking at population movement that's anonymous, and then we are looking at it in aggregate. So we would never be able to specify that a device belongs to a specific user or person, and contractually we are not allowed to go below a certain threshold of population analytics within a specified geographic zone. The contracts that we have with these carriers are extremely specific. It took us years to obtain these contracts, and many of the hurdles that we had to jump through were specifically related to the privacy question. Could we do our job? Could we analyze this data without compromising the privacy of the user? And I can assure you that if you're a multinational technology and wireless company, the last thing you're going to do is compromise your company's well-being and the equity of your stakeholders by ensuring or entrusting the data to partners like AirSage that don't entirely respect the privacy of the data that we're obtaining. So what we do with this technology is we are able to analyze device movement between locations around a point of interest or a select zone. Over my shoulder you see a few stadiums, you see some highway corridors, you see a port. All of those are exactly the types of infrastructure that we might analyze. As folks are moving around within a specified area, we see the latitude and longitude of the device in their pocket. We analyze it for up to 30 days, and we can infer things like a home location, where that device resides each evening between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. We can see where they work, where they go most days. With most of our work being in transportation, there are a couple of other industries that we are supporting, including conventions and tourism boards across the country. Say you've got a downtown area like the one behind me, and you're responsible for booking large conventions. You need to understand and quantify very specifically the economic impact of the events that you not only have had in the past, but are hoping to obtain in the future as well. So since we have data going back to 2009, we can put a geographic zone around any point of interest in the country and analyze who's coming to or from that location, where they live, and this has huge impacts for tourism, for commercial real estate development, looking at how far away you're pulling visitors. If you buy a ticket to a Seattle Seahawks game and you can't make it, you're going to give that ticket to somebody else. So there's a lot of pass-through, a lot of handover of these sorts of ticketed events, so the folks who are attending the event have nothing to do with the point of sale. And so the presumptions that these folks are making are often erroneous. And our data can be used as a way to validate assumptions about home locations of visitors, lengths of stay at any given area, and other information that's really, really important for folks who are in the tourism industry, the commercial real estate industry, equity analytics, and others. So one of the things I hear from folks in the industry who have a little bit of knowledge about population analytics and some of the tools that are out there is, oh, AirSage, you're like the GPS guys. Not entirely. Some of the differences between some of those active technologies like apps or Bluetooth readers, which actually require a user to activate something on their device, and a technology like AirSage, which is entirely passive. meaning we don't need a user to do anything. Provided that device is powered on, the device is interacting with the network up to several thousand times per day. So we are obtaining data from behind the firewall of the carrier. We make it anonymous, we pull it out, and then we analyze it. But that being able to obtain the raw data gives us sample sizes that are exponentially larger than some of the active solutions that exist in this industry.